Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, grief counseling for family and schools as the 3 young siblings die in St. Anne house fire. Grief has engulfed Walker's Wood in St. Anne after 3 young siblings perished in a fire that completely destroyed their home in the early hours of Sunday morning. The police have identified the victims as the sisters Tashwana Mattis, 7, and Tashwani Mattis, 4, and their brother Tavarno Mattis, 2, all of Cottage District in Walker's Wood. Their bodies were found on a bed after the fire was put out. A 4th sibling, 5-year-old Tadine Mattis, who was asleep in another room with his grandmother, Robin Roach, escaped unhurt along with Roach. The police say the 4 children were left at home by their mother, 24-year-old Tanique Wilson, who had gone to visit her boyfriend elsewhere in the community. During the night, about 2 a.m., Roach reportedly saw fire coming from the room occupied by the 3 children, raised an alarm, and exited the room she was in with the 4th child. While outside, an explosion was heard coming from the room where the children were. The house was engulfed with the flames shortly thereafter, and that section of the house collapsed, the police report stated. About 2:35 a.m., Roach phoned her other daughter in White River and told her about the fire. That daughter then called Wilson's boyfriend and told him about the fire at Wilson's house and that 3 of the children had died. Fire units from the areas at the St. Anne's Bay fire stations responded to the call and put out the blaze. The bodies of the 3 children were seen on a bed, cuddled together. It appeared that they were asleep when the fire occurred. Speaking with the reporters, the father of the 4 children, Odane Mattis, said he was at home when he was called and told about the fire, but it was too late for him to do anything to help. He said he had previously urged their mother to leave them with him when she was going out. "She left me in a disgrace turn peso. Me just come from work," he said. "Normally when she a go out, me tell her, when you a go about your business, make me youth them come on my yard and spend the night until you come back," Mattis told the reporters. "She left me in a square and not say nothing to me. Me friend me here say me youth them burn up and dead in a fire. Only one of them could have saved out of 4 pitney." He said that the children were with him last week and he took them back to their mother on Friday. Yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness expressed the outrage over the circumstances around the tragedy. "It is absolutely heartbreaking to lose 3 innocent lives in such a preventable manner. Every Jamaican child deserves to grow up in a safe environment, and this incident brings into sharp focus the gaps in vigilance and responsible parenting we face as a nation," Holness said. "While we understand the economic demands on parents, particularly single-parent households, there can be no excuse for leaving children unattended or with little or no supervision, particularly in cases that could not be considered an emergency. As parents, we must do more to ensure our children are cared for and protected at all times. That is not a responsibility any parent can transfer to another lightly." In light of the tragedy, the government sought to remind the parents and the guardians of their moral duty to their children and their legal responsibilities under the Child Care and Protection Act. Holness has directed the relevant authorities to investigate the incident thoroughly and to provide support to the families and the community. Sunday morning's incident followed a similar fatal occurrence in which a 5-year-old girl died in a fire in Whitehall, St. Andrew on January 8. Desmond Mackenzie, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, expressed the grief at the tragic incident, describing it as painful. "This is another painful moment that draws sharp attention to the critical importance of fire prevention and fire safety. My heart goes out to the remaining family and friends, and I am especially thinking about the children's grandmother and the lone grandchild, just 5 years old, who survived the fire," Mackenzie said in a release. Last year, 27 people died, 79 people were injured, and 1,600 people lost their homes because of fires. "I am urging every Jamaican to use today's terrible tragedy to decide once and for all that together we will prevent incidents like these from happening again, the minister urged. Mackenzie said that the Jamaica Fire Brigade is ramping up its public education activities through the Fire and the Life Safety Program to enhance the fire prevention and the fire safety measures. In the meantime, in a joint statement, the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency under the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information urged greater vigilance for children's safety and fire preparedness. The Child Protection and the Family Services Agency under the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information are appealing to parents and guardians to prioritize vigilance in safeguarding children and to adopt fire safety measures at home. Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, the Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, in expressing sorrow at the incident, said the heartbreaking loss of these young lives is deeply distressing and serves as a painful reminder of the vulnerabilities children face in cases of emergency. She said at this time that the CPFC first responders were on their way to the scene of the incident to assess the situation and provide on-spot grief counseling for the surviving family members, including any other children who may now require care, and offer support such as food, clothing, and assistance in replacing essential documents. A team from the Education Ministry will visit the children's schools today to offer counseling and emotional support to classmates, teachers, and other members of the school community. Loretta Adams Thomas, the CPFSA's Chief Executive Officer, said her team quickly provided support to the grieving family, referring the children's mother and the surviving sibling to the Ministry of Justice's Victim Support Unit for trauma counseling. We also referred the family to Food for the Poor to supply them with emergency provisions such as food and care items. These tragedies are unimaginable losses that no family should have to endure, Adams Thomas said. Dr. Kenneth Russell, candidate caretaker for Southeast St. Anne, said he was completely shattered and devastated by the tragic fire. He added that the government's declaration of support was reassuring. Councillor commends the police but says curfew stifling economic activity. A political representative in the South Central Parish has reiterated her concern that the once thriving Poros has become a ghost town for two reasons: curfews and the highway that allows most of the traffic to bypass it. Councillor Claudia Moranta Baker of the Jamaica Labour Party Poros Division has taken issue with the continued imposition of curfews and has called for a town hall meeting between the Manchester Police, citizens and the business owners. I must commend the police for taking this step to come to Poros. Poros has been a hotspot, and it has been a hotspot for a while. We pray that the community will go back to its regular operation as it used to, because this is one step in the right direction. I am going to request the team that is here to organize a community meeting. I wouldn't mind if it is held by the end of the week, she said on Sunday at the Manchester Police's annual church service in Poros. We are ready to meet and to talk with the police because Poros has some genuine concerns that we need to be heard, and we not only need to worship together, we need to talk together. People have concerns. They are worried because the businessmen and the women of this community are crying out as they are saying to us, "Come and let us talk together," she added. Last year, Manchester recorded 50 murders, up from 44 in 2023, and the Poros has accounted for at least 5 of the homicides committed between September and December. Moranta Baker is adamant that the curfews should be reviewed. We want to know how we can team up and fix the problem that exists here, and we can't do it without you. Poros is dying, and we don't want it for dead. Poros is a nice, sweet community, she said. The highway mash up Poros and now the curfew is killing it. So we are saying to you, come let us talk together, she said in reference to the toll-free Maypen to Williamsfield leg of Highway 2000. The councillor underscored the importance of police and the citizen partnership to restore peace and economic activity to Poros. Community members, I gave the police their charge. You have a responsibility too. You live in this community. You know what is happening in your community. Let us be partners to keep the community alive. You won't understand until it touches your home, until it touches somebody you know, she said. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.